Vredefort Dome is a small but unique area surrounded by a large flat countryside. The almost 25,000 hectares are composed of quartzite hills and valleys of different shapes and sizes. The Vaal River meanders like a large vein through most of the dome. The slope of the river creates a variety of features and habitats. There are no unique species of fauna and flora in the Vredefort Dome. But an event more than 2,000 million years ago created a paradise where rare combinations of plants are found.
I think the most important aspect is really the variety of habitats that you can find in the dome. I mean, it really varies from very hot hills and ridges to the cool ravines and also to the lower lying areas, the flat areas with grasslands and so forth. And it really houses quite a variety of plant communities, unique plant communities, and also very interesting plant species, although not unique to the dome, but very interesting plant species. In the most recent vegetation map of South Africa, 5 of the 400 national vegetation types were recognized in the dome. 2 of them are from the savanna biome and 3 of grasslands. And one I would like to mention that's unique to the dome, I mean, it's the only place where it exists in South Africa and in the world, is the Vredefort Dome granitic grassland.
Property in the Vredefort Dome is privately owned. There are many crop farms in the lower areas, while most owners keep some cattle. Large parts of the Vredefort Dome are in a pristine condition. Many owners belong to a conservancy that strives to maintain existing unspoiled areas as well as the restoration of overutilized parts.
The Conservancy was established about 15 years ago when there was a threat of open cast mining in the Vredefort Dome. That led to the listing of the Vredefort Dome as a World Heritage Site, and we are actively trying to promote conservation in the Vredefort Dome.
A biome is a distinct group of life forms and the environment in which they are found. The Vredefort Dome is part of the grasslands biome situated between the Highveld and the Transvaal Plateau. A popular name for the vegetation is Bunkenveld, and unusual variations were formed by the geology created by the meteorite's impact. Most Bunkenveld grasses are extremely sour because they withdraw their nutrients on maturity during the winter months.
The term Bunkenveld refers to a transitional area between grasslands on the Highveld and then the bushveld of the savannas. That's a little bit lower lying.
The concept Bunkenveld covers a range of vegetation that includes thorn trees such as sweet thorn, common hookthorn, and buffalo thorn.
People sometimes wonder what are the functions of thorns. Basically, it is to protect the tree against browsing, for example. And what is interesting is when the tree is quite small, there are abundance of thorns on those trees. And as they get bigger, it's sometimes very difficult to find thorns on those trees.
The red ivory is one of the notable trees in the Vredefort Dome. It is sensitive to cold, and that's why one will find this beautiful deciduous species in the warmer parts of the area. The presence of the red ivory in the dome comes as a surprise because it is typically found in the warmer lowveld.
And there are 55 indigenous tree species in the dome. Maybe it does not seem a lot, but it is a lot, I can promise you that.
One of the best preserved floral features of the dome is the wild olive forest in the northwest section of this heritage site. It is one of hairy fairy orchids and a very secretive flower that only blossoms around March. Rainfall is relatively scarce in the dome, and it's for this reason that ground orchids are most commonly found here. The presence of the Bonatia polypodonta in the dome was only discovered in 2007.
The discovery of the orchid, Bonatia polypodonta, was quite a surprise to me. We didn't expect any of these orchids growing in the Vredefort Dome due to the excessive high temperatures, low rainfall, but I was driving along this road, then I saw the white specks on the side of the road. I stopped and couldn't believe my eyes. This specific orchid, the Bonatia polypodonta, is found in a very localized area in the Vredefort Dome, in maybe a 10 square meter area. So for visitors coming to the dome will pass without noticing. And also bear in mind, they flower typical April, May, and it's for maybe a month in total that you will see the white flowers, and then after you will see seed pods, but the plants look like anything alongside the road, and you won't see them unless you exactly know where they are. They are growing in a shaded, shallow area next to the road, and I think that's why they remain there, because of the water that can accumulate in this small little ditch next to the road.
The Bonatia is commonly known as hairy fairy, but why was this name given to this beautiful orchid?
Some people call them the hairy fairies due to the fact that their sepals and petals are extending like little legs outside, and this little hood you see over here, that is the lip. Those two little spots you see over there, that's called the anther, and the whole sexual organs is included in those two little protrusions you see over there. They are not supposed to grow in this area. They mainly grow on the escarp towards the eastern Transvaal.
Another spectacular visitor in October-November is the paintbrush lily, or Scadoxus pinaceus. Scadoxus means glory or splendor, and pinaceus refers to the crimson, scarlet, or purple colors of the plant with its large underground bulb. The introduction of large game gained momentum when smaller farms were consolidated into large game farms. Today one will find most of the sought-after game in the heritage site. Some smaller game have been resident in the dome since the earliest of times. With more than 400 species present, the dome is a birder's paradise. The diverse habitats host a large variety of endemic species that are supplemented by visitors during the summer months.
We started Griffin about 15 years ago.
At the Griffin Rehabilitation Centre, one can see birds of prey at close range. It's definitely a place to visit.
They get injured, and once the vet has treated them, they have nowhere to go. We've had this fish eagle now. I had a phone call. Someone saw him sitting in a dry dam on a farm, and he couldn't fly. So we picked him up. He mainly has ligaments and muscles that has been torn, and now we are treating him. Hopefully we will be able to release him. This is a baby of the greater kestrel. Both the mother and father are in captivity due to injuries, and this is an egg that was hatched in the cage. For 8 years they've been breeding, and this is the first successful hatchling that they've actually had. This is a giant eagle owl. She was raised by human beings. She was taken from the nest and then raised by them, and later this animal became a problem, so they had to find a place for her to go, and that's how she ended up with us. Eventually this love became a duty that I've been doing. The main purpose of this thing is to release as many indigenous animals back into the wild.
The biological diversity of the area presents the opportunity for scientific research in this heritage site. There are more than 100 butterfly species in the dome. They thrive in the various habitats. Amphibians receive special attention from zoologists at the Northwest University. The most abundant species is the common platana.
In the dome we've got 17 species. We've got very nice diversity of habitats in the dome. We have, for example, the bushveld rain frog. This is sort of on the edge of its distribution. The same applies to the snoring paddle frog. And then in the dome, for example, we have the 2 species of river frogs that we have in the area. We have sand frogs. Here we have an example of a giant bullfrog, and this is Chucky. We got him in as a youngster, but we don't know where he's from, and that's why we can't release him. But students adopted him, and he's got his own vivarium or tank. All the students take turns to look after him and feed him. They feed him mice or insects. He'll take anything. Not only is it the biggest frog in southern Africa, but it's got a unique form of parental care, where this male will protect his young. And then he's got some really nice teeth. I've got a skull here of a bullfrog that died of natural causes, but there you can see these nice set of teeth and these 2 blunt projections in the lower jaw. And with this, he's got a very firm grip. So they will attack, and we've got footage where they even attack a cow.
The Vaal River is a prime source of multiple life forms in the dome. Besides a myriad of water-dependent birds, the river is the home of several endangered fish species. The 2 groups of yellowfish in the river are used as indicator species in the regional management and conservation plans. Other species, such as the carp, are very popular among anglers. The carp is regarded by some as invasive and threatening to indigenous predators. A calendar highlight every year is a fly fishing tournament where a catch and release program is combined with collecting data for research.
In the Vredefort Dome, it's all about catch and release. So all the fish that we catch are returned safely, unharmed to the water. Nothing's taken out. It's released unharmed as soon as possible. So the fish suffers very little stress, and they live to carry on. So it's really just let them go, live to fight another day, and enjoy themselves.
Should anybody have lived more than 2,000 million years ago, before a meteorite struck the place we call Vredefort today, it was probably unthinkable of a paradise of flora and fauna that exist in synergy.